Well, right now, I'm in a kind of Japanese mood. I don't know why. I just, maybe because I've been to Japan before, but that was interesting. I've been to Japan twice. Yeah, I don't know. I know I mentioned many times I've been to Japan, but I was there once. The first time I went to Japan, I was 10 years old, and this was back in 1970. And it was interesting because I was there in August of 1970. And I remember going on a tour of Tokyo on August 6th. Of course, that's the anniversary of the dropping of the atomic bomb. And I remember the tour guide was talking about how Tokyo had been bombed. And, I've done a lot of research, looking up stuff, and just learning a lot about the war. It's interesting about war, about fighting in wars. I've never fought in a war. I've never been in the military. But my father was in a war. He fought in the Korean War. And I remember him telling me about how they left from Japan. I don't know what harbor they left from. But they went from Japan going into battle in Korea. And I always thought about that, What's it like to fight in a war? I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about war. People who have been in battles, who have been in fights, people who sometimes just civilians who've been caught in the middle of things. I mean, I've actually had conversations with people. When I used to do volunteer work at Cook County Hospital as a translator, I remember talking to one man who had been shot. He was from Argentina, and he had been shot by the military. I think they thought they had killed him. He had actually been shot in the chest, but he survived. So it's interesting to talk to people. I know a friend of mine who was from Bolivia, and he was talking about when there was always it was like an overthrow of the government almost every 2 years. It's interesting, the experiences that other people have. When you talk to people who have been in wars, have been in battles, it's like sometimes I think about it. I wonder what it's like, but at the same time, I really don't really want to know. I mean, I don't want to ever have that experience of being in a battle or being in a fight or being in many of these terrible situations people have been in. I think about when I was in Japan the second time. I went in 2004. And I went to Hiroshima because, even when I was a kid, I always thought I would like to go to Hiroshima just to see what it looks like. So, like 34 years later, I went and actually went to the city of Hiroshima, and it's totally rebuilt. Beautiful city, actually, quite modern. The only thing left was there's one building. It's called the A-Bomb Dome Center. As a matter of fact, let me kind of put that together. I could actually show that on the video. Maybe on another video. I actually showed a photograph because I took a photograph of that building. It's the only structure that's left from that. That's sort of preserved as a memorial. And it's in this park in Hiroshima. Interesting. Right now, I'm drinking my sake. I have my little cup. You can see a little design. I actually bought this in Tokyo. I bought it in a place called Ueno Park. It's in the Ueno district. Actually, it wasn't in the park. It was in that district in Japan. And I have my sake, which I have a bottle of sake. Yeah. Anybody can read Japanese because I can't. Maybe you know what that says. I don't know. But that's sake, and I have my little sake, which I'm drinking. I have a little bit of it. You can heat up sake. And it tastes really good. Right now, I don't have it warmed, but you can warm it up. It's just interesting. Just thoughts. That's all I'm saying. Just in a Japanese mood today. Just thinking about Japan. And I'm also interested in learning Japanese. I actually do know a few words, I've learned a few things, I learned how to say good morning, Ohayo gozaimasu, and konnichiwa, and konbanwa, and I know how to ask people their names, Onemae wa nandesu ka? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or saying it correctly. But I actually learned a few little words just to get along. I remember the whole doko desu ka thing, asking people for directions. Because I remember walking around Tokyo and kind of getting lost and asking someone. I had to get close to this one train station, which was the Shimbashi station. And I remember asking these people, and I said, "Oh my God!" I had to think about it, rehearse it in my mind what I was going to say. And I remember saying, "Okay, I got to say, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Shimbashi station?" So I said, "Sumimasen, Shimbashi eki wa doko desu ka?" And I was able to, it was a good thing they actually spoke English, so it helped me a lot. So, but anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just am in a Japanese mood for some reason. I don't know.